Hello world. So last time I did a Steven Bomb 4 prediction for the show Steven Universe. That was 5 episodes. The episodes were great. I will be doing a review on them. But now, right now, I will be analyzing my prediction and seeing how much right I got and how much wrong. I have seen all the episodes, so let's get started. But first, if you haven't seen my Steven Bomb 4 prediction, you should probably go check that out. Anyways, and there will be a link in the description for that. So, okay, now on to business. My prediction was very interesting. I mean, as you can see, it was all really weird. And it was extensive, and this was like the whole thing, like all detailed and everything. And the show came out obviously different than I thought. I mean, I was pretty sure it wasn't going to be exactly my prediction. So, here are my results. I'm going to be showing you them. Okay, so let's move on to my results. And here, starting now. The answer. This was an amazing episode, but I will review it in another video. Okay, so, the answer. I thought, well, I didn't have much detail on this. I did see the extended promo trailer, which was very interesting. Got me psyched for this episode. I didn't really go into too much detail. The details I did go into, I got a few of them wrong. I got the ending wrong. I kind of got somewhat of the main gist, though. Okay, Steven's birthday. I didn't collaborate a lot on this one either. I mean, not collaborate. Go into details on this one either. But for the things I did go into, I was right. I missed a whole part about around the last quarter of the episode. I never thought of that. But for the part I did have, I got a lot of it right. So, it could have been great. This one I ran into tons of detail about. I was mostly wrong. I'm sorry. However, there was one part in this episode that I actually was right, and I was, well, somewhat right, and I was really psyched about. In my prediction video, you should go see it if you haven't, I said that there would be, sorry, I said that there would be, on the moon, the gems would either walk past something, or there'd be something that they didn't see, that we wouldn't see in this episode, or maybe get a glimpse of, like a little something important on the moon. And I kind of showed that in my prediction. And there was something. If you've seen the episode, I'm not going to spoil it much. When the crystal gems are walking up the staircase, before they get to the top, they stop in the room with the weird sphere in it. And then they're just like, what's this? It's not what we came for. So, that was interesting. And there is a future episode in this season called Back to the Moon, Part 2, I think it is. Something like that. I'm not sure. Anyways, I have another theory on some of the future episodes and this episode that I will be trying to get out. Message received. This episode I went into lots of detail about too, and I was pretty sure this wasn't going to be right because it was going to be really intense and like a huge plot thing. Like the plot would be kind of like the last 3 episodes they wouldn't be calm, but they would be night. Well, more calm than this. This would be huge. And I was mostly wrong. A lot of people were torn between whether they thought Yellow Diamond was going to appear in this episode. I said she was, and then I also went on about Malachite appearing, and yada yada yada, and then forming Alexandrite, and Yellow Diamond fusing with Malachite minus Lapis to create emeralds. But I was right about Yellow Diamond appearing. I said there'd be like a ship that she arrived in because I've seen the whole Stephen Bomb promo, which was like 30 seconds long, and the ship kind of looked like what I decided. Like the thing I saw in the promo looked kind of like what I showed in the prediction, which again, if you haven't seen, you should go check it out. But it wasn't exactly a ship. It was the Direct Diamond communication line, and it's just kind of like FaceTime for gems, I guess. And they were just talking through that. So yeah. Okay. I was mostly wrong. Peridot, you should actually, if you haven't seen the Stephen Bomb, go watch it now because I'm gonna spoil stuff. If you've only seen the Stephen Bomb and you haven't heard about any other promos or anything, you're good. Just keep watching. I won't spoil anything. Okay, so Peridot actually ends up I thought she'd betray the crystal gems, and then there'd be a song at the end of the episode. There wasn't a song, and she did not betray the crystal gems, but she did betray Yellow Diamond, which is really interesting. At first, before I saw any trailers, when I just saw the description of this episode, Steven learned that he shouldn't trust anyone, something like that. I thought that Yellow Diamond would come to Earth to trick Steven to going with her, and she would shapeshift into like a human and say, "Oh, Steven," like kind of like that. And the only reason I thought this was the episode says message received, and I know in Cry for Help, Peridot was sending out a message, and Yellow Diamond has still no response until this, and it confused me a little, but that's just what I thought. However, then I changed my prediction, and it was totally wrong, but I guess a little less wrong than my first one. But that wasn't part of the video, my previous video. Log date 7:52. Since I was wrong about the previous one, and this is kind of connected to the previous one I said, I was wrong about this too. So I said that Steven would be sad that Peridot left, and he'd listen to the audio recording. I mean, he does, but Peridot's still there, and she actually becomes a crystal gem. And he listens to the audio recording, and oh my gosh, when I was watching this episode, I got so ecstatic, so psyched at one point. And if you've seen this episode, which, if you haven't, exit out of this video, because it's going to be spoiled. But I was so ecstatic at one part, and if you've seen this, you probably know what that one part is. But yeah, I'll explain more in my review episode. Sorry if my voice sounds crackly again. It's just because I have an illness. Just like a cold or something. Okay. And then at the end I said, ... after the Stephen Bomb, I know, I didn't want this to be, but this is what I think was going to happen. That they'd have to work, there'd be another hiatus, and because of things like, the Stephen Bomb was kind of planned for them. I'm not sure, I don't really know much about the creation of Steven's universe and how its process works. And, by the way, the total prediction about Amethyst, like, disappearing from the crystal gems temporarily, that was totally wrong. Well, in the Stephen Bomb, at least. So, I said that there'd be a little hiatus, maybe not as long as the last one. And I actually talked with my friend, and he convinced me to disagree with this. And there is actually a promo for another episode that's coming out in like 2 or 3 weeks, I think. So it's maybe 2 weeks, maybe this week, maybe this Thursday, I don't know. Probably not this Thursday. And I think I know what the name is, but it's not sure. It's like a 6-second promo with basically no words. And if you've seen it, you're going to be very ecstatic. But don't worry! I will not spoil it for you if you don't want to see it. If you're one of the people who, like, just doesn't want to see it. But it's not huge. It's not really a leak. It's a Cartoon Network promo, and it's like 6 seconds long. If you want to be, it does kind of move the show into a new stage. So if you don't want to see like this one thing, which if you don't like seeing promos, I'd suggest don't watch it. And don't worry, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Later in the video, well, I'll explain. I'm not gonna spoil it if you don't want me to, guys. Okay, now for my percentage of how right my prediction was. Let's see. 7%. Yay. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but I don't exactly want the Stephen Bob to be what I predicted. That's not my main hope or one of my hopes. My hope is that I want the Stephen Bob to be the creation of the Steven Universe crew, and that it's amazing, and it is the Steven Universe episode that, not that I predict, but that I want and that I would like. I don't know if you're saying my predictions are things I would like, but they're things I would want. So my final is 7%. That doesn't include what happens after the Stephen Bomb. I actually, if you're going to question this, I actually went through a huge 2-hour session of grading myself between percentages and dividing and doing little check marks and X's, and oh my gosh. Anyways, things I do for YouTube. Anyways, in the comments, I'd really like if you watched that other video and in the comments of this video or that video, commented on what your percentage would be, on what you think how right I was. Like, do you think it was 7% or do you think it was something like 2% or 14%, maybe even 89%? I don't know. It's your opinion, so go check that. Okay. So, what happened after the Stephen Bomb, the promo? I said I won't spoil it for you. Now, I'm going to talk about it. Don't worry, I won't spoil it if you don't want to be spoiled. Okay, so see this red X mark on the screen? I'm going to talk about it. What you have to do is, if you don't want to hear it, don't worry, just turn your captions off and turn the volume off. There's not going to be any pictures or anything. As long as this X mark, red X mark, is on the screen, turn all the volume off and everything. And then you can turn it back on and everything once this green check appears, turn the captions back on, and everything. You might not want to look in the comments of this video, because there could be spoilers down there too. Ready, set, I'm going to spoil it in 3, turn the volume off and captions until you've seen the green check mark. The red X means don't listen if you don't want to be spoiled. 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, who have stuck to watching this, you can change your mind. I mean, it might be tempting to watch spoilers, but it's not that, like, a leak or something. It's just a little promo. Well, here, let me just talk about it. This is your decision. And so, in the promo trailer, Peridot and Steven are happy, and Lapis is there. She must have confused with Malachite. And she's kind of all salty and like, And Peridot's trying to give her a gift, and she's like, look! She doesn't say anything, there are no words. And then Steven's like, he like to do these arm expressions, and Lapis is still like sad, and they keep moving forwards to Lapis. And I have a few predictions, but this is not really what this video is for. Okay, you can put captions on, and you can turn the volume up, because if you didn't want to be spoiled, that time is over, and you are safe from the spoilers of the internet. Okay. So that was fun. Please comment. I will be doing a review on this, theories about Steven Universe. Like I said, like a lot of theories. I will be commenting on other theories, seeing if I agree with them or I don't. A lot of them, the internet theories, I actually don't agree with. However, a lot of them I actually do agree with. There's just so many of them. And I always think that the more theories, the better. And it doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. Slowly, you can piece this together. So that's it. So goodbye, world, and that was an amazing Steven Bomb, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.